Hey, what's up, everybody? Listen, if you have not heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number one, it's free. Yeah, I got your attention now, right? Number two, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Number three, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Number four, you can make money from your podcast. That's right. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum viewership. Number five, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So right now, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, everybody? My name is Cliff, and you are listening to the What Now Podcast. That's right, the What Now Podcast, where we, through conversation, discuss ways that we can effectively address life's most difficult moments. So sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's episode.
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the What Now podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the What Now podcast. My name is Clifton Pettyjohn. For the sake of this podcast, you can call me Cliff, all right? Welcome back, as I said. I appreciate each and every one of you for listening, guys. You guys are really listening to the podcast. I see the numbers, y'all. I see what you're doing, and I appreciate it. And here's what I want to ask you to do. I need one favor from you. I need one favor from each and every one of you that listens to the podcast. If you listen, if you enjoy, if you've laughed, if you've cried, if it's made you think, if it's taught you something about me that you did not know, if you just like hearing my voice, I don't mind that. Shoot me a line, let me know. You can email me at info@cliftonpettyjohn.com. If there's any suggestions for the show, you can shoot me a line as well. And also, guys, I want each and every one of you to share the podcast with one person. I want you to share it with one person. If each of you can share it with one person, that means twice as many people are hearing this message about transformation, about what to do with life's most difficult moments. All right. So let's get to tonight's topic. I mean, we don't have a long time anyway. They're only 15 minutes. That's another reason why you should share it. It's not like I'm sitting and talking to you for an hour at a time. My radio show is an hour. Many times when I teach, it's 45 minutes to an hour. So right here in this 15 minutes, you're getting something power packed in a 15-minute time frame. So share it with one person. If you share it with two, let me know you shared it with two. You know, I might have something special for you. Maybe I have a special thank you or a special clap of the hands for you. But I really appreciate you guys. So let's get to the subject at hand. Tonight's topic is, or today's topic, whenever you're listening,
I decided to live. I decided to live. Now, listen, life comes with a lot of challenges. And if you listen to the podcast before here, you understand I talked about the loss of my mother. If you've listened to me talk about anything in my life, I always talk about the challenges I faced and, some of life's most difficult moments. Well, the reality is that I was a person that buckled to life's most difficult moments. Why am I getting tongue twisted? I was a person that buckled to life's most difficult moments at times, okay? And when I buckled to those moments, honestly, I chose to exist versus living. As a life coach, it is very hard to infuse life into clients when you aren't practicing or exercising that yourself. And that was a harsh reality that I had to come to. The reality was, here I am attempting to encourage and push and promote life to individuals when I myself am running from my life, or I myself am laying down my life when I needed to make the choice to live. So 2019, I know a lot of people feel as if 2019 was a disappointing year for them. 2019 for me was a year that I decided to deal with all the BS in my life that I was running from. And I decided to face it, and live. I decided to live. 2019 was a year of victory for me. That doesn't mean I didn't go through. I went through a lot of stuff, but I experienced great victory. I told the story about how, because of my eyes, I wasn't able to drive for years. I didn't have a driver's license. 2019, I had to go through two surgeries to finally, or three procedures, I believe it was, to get my eyes to a position where I can see so I can drive. That was part of getting my life back. You guys already know what went down with the Transformation Center and how we were providing services in Delaware, in New Jersey, and then we went online. That was part of me getting my life back, taking my life back and choosing to live. I decided that I no longer was going to live in a cave because a lot of times I don't go out. And it's not that I don't enjoy going out. Sometimes I do enjoy being home, but too much of anything is not good for you. Sometimes I was only staying home because I just didn't want to be seen by people. But I took my life back and I began to take steps to go out. And the biggest thing I did to get my life back was I went on a cruise this year. I went on a cruise this year. Matter of fact, I'm just back 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago or last week I got back? Last Monday I got back. But I really enjoyed myself on the cruise. And I went with a group of individuals, great people. And I talked about this on my radio show. I hope that nobody thought, because I didn't do anything with the group on the cruise. And it wasn't that I had anything against anybody in the group, great individuals. But what I decided for the first time in my life was I want to do everything that I want to do when I want to do it. And somebody said, well, that's very selfish. A lot of times I haven't been that selfish. And I felt like this was a great opportunity for me to be selfish. So I hung out with myself. I met some different people, met some great people, especially that Sunday watching football. But I did everything that I wanted to do, and I enjoyed it. I didn't feel guilty about it. I didn't feel weighed down about it. I actually enjoyed it. And for the first time in years, now this is going to sound real crazy, but the first time in years, I felt like I was living. I was living. I didn't care what anybody thought. I didn't care what anybody said. I didn't care about how anybody else felt. I wasn't doing any harm to anybody, but I think you guys get what I'm saying because I said I'm not going to explain myself on this podcast. But for the first time, I felt like I lived. I went out, listened to some great music. I danced. I stayed up a lot. That part of that was my problem too, because y'all, I'm 40 now. I just can't do the staying up all night. When I got home, now I slept a little bit on the boat, but I didn't get my normal hours of sleep. So when I got home, it took me about 2 or 3 days to recover. But I really had fun. I really had fun. Had me some Bahama Mamas. some rum cake. I did a lot of things that I normally would not do um, on an everyday basis, and I really enjoyed it, and it felt good to be living. And I promised myself that I was not just going to have that experience one time or once a year, but I was dedicating my life to living. I'm dedicating my life to live. So I want to encourage each and every one of you out there tonight, regardless of what you've gone through, regardless of what it might look like, what it may feel like, sound like, you may think it looks like or feels like or seems like. I encourage you to live. I encourage you to live. I encourage you to live. I encourage you to enjoy your life. Live your best life. Do you hear me? Live your best life. Now, I'm not telling you just go out here and do crazy stuff, but live your life. Stop. One of the things that I got to be honest, I do kind of regret is that I always was a person that overthought everything. Therefore, as time went on in my life, I had a lot of, I wish I had did this. I wish I had did that. What would have happened if I had took this step? What would have happened? I refuse to have that testimony at this stage in my life. I'm just made up in my mind. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. Now, understand when you make up your mind like that, there may be some consequences connected to some of those decisions, and you have to be willing to live with those consequences. Count the cost to be the boss, all right? But I made up in my mind, I'm no longer going to live with the what if. What if I did this? What if I said that? What if I showed up here? What if, I took this step? What if I told this person how I really felt? What if? No what ifs in my life anymore. I'm just going to live life to the fullest. And if I do it and I don't like it, then I don't have to do it again. If I do it and I enjoy it, then I'm going to enjoy it and enjoy it and enjoy it and enjoy it. Why? Because I chose or I decided to live my life. And living your life may look different than somebody else living their life. And living your life may offend other people. It honestly may offend other people. Now, I'm not talking about you letting down on your responsibilities or anything like that, but I'm just talking about you being free to be who you are. And I don't even think that I've ever honestly, I think I felt that when I came out years ago, and I talked about coming out, I think on this podcast, I felt free in who I was. But even in coming out, I think about it as the years went on, and getting married and going through the process of divorce. One of the things I realized was, although I had freed myself, certain parts of my life I put myself right back in bondage. So I didn't really get to experience that freedom of being who I am and just being willing to express it in a manner that, man, who cares what anybody thinks or anybody's opinion of it. But I made up in my mind, I'm 40 years old now. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to encourage other people to live their lives. And those that are connected to me are going to live their life. And I believe now I'm ready to be a more effective coach because now I'm actually connected with living my life. So that's pretty much everything I had to say. I decided to live. And I encourage you to decide to live as well. Whatever your living looks like, decide to live. Do not do what everybody thinks and feels you should do. Not saying you don't take advice, seek counsel, but at the end of the day, make sure that you are living your life. Why? Because you know who's going to have to give an account for your life. You are. Not the people that are making decisions for you, not the people that are giving you suggestions, not the people that are telling you what you should and shouldn't do. You are going to have to give account for your life. Why? Because God placed that responsibility upon you. Don't let the fear of making quote unquote the wrong decision cause you not to make a decision. That was me. I always, but what if I choose wrong? What if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? What if it doesn't? Quit thinking about the negative what ifs and think about some positive what ifs. What if you do it and you find out, man, this is bringing fulfillment to me. Maybe you're not fulfilled in your life because you are not doing anything that is designed to bring fulfillment specifically to you. I decided to live my life. I pray you decide to do so as well. As always, if you need help, reach out to me, 302-648-5544. Text HELP in all capital letters, or you can email me at cpventilates@cliftonpettyjohn.com. Listen, we're going to get out of here. Peace. Remember what I said. Make the decision to live. Make the decision to live. You deserve it. And most importantly, y'all, it is so much freedom in it. Set yourself free today. Live.
Can you identify any areas in your life where stagnation is manifesting? Now, I know some of you might say, no, I can't. Well, I want us to look at stagnation for what it really is. Some people have identified stagnation as something that's not growing or that's not producing. I don't believe that's stagnation. To me, stagnation can also be that yes, we're growing, yes, we're producing. However, we're growing and producing in a manner that's disrespectful to the purpose and the greatness that resides inside of us. And listen, we all have areas where we can identify that we could be doing a lot better in. There's greater potential in those areas than we are experiencing. And guess what? I have a tool that will help you begin to experience transformation in those areas of stagnation in your life. And that tool is called From Stagnation to Transformation. That's right. That is my book, From Stagnation to Transformation. So I want you to head over to my website, www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. I want you to hit there. I want you to hit the Transformation tab. There you're going to find a free preview of my book. That's right, a free preview of my book. And I promise you, after you read the preview, you're going to want to invest in your personal transformation through purchasing the book. So again, head over there. Purchase the book. Let me know you purchased it. Here's what I always say, guys. If you purchase the book, you read the book, you apply the principles in your life, and yet you still are stagnant in the areas that you are applying them to, and you're not experiencing any transformation, and you can prove to me that you have applied these principles, I will give you a 100% refund. That's right, a 100% refund. Why? Because I believe in the application of the principles that are outlined in this book. So again, visit www.cliftonpettyjohn.com and purchase your copy of From Stagnation to Transformation.